Hey, everybody. Oh, my goodness. How's everybody doing today? Um, oh, my tea's really strong. I got 2 Tetley tea bags in it. Hey, Linda. How's it going? I'm going to give everybody time. You know, I swear some tea bags are stronger than others because 1 tea bag isn't enough and 2 is usually fine, but this is really strong. I wonder if I put 3 in by accident. It's not necessarily love, sweetheart, but it is support, and I appreciate it. Yeah, I made my tomato soup cake. That's tomorrow's video on our half-acre homestead. I just took 7 pints of beans out of the canner that I picked yesterday. My fruit fly, or my pears are covered in fruit flies. I'm going to become, I don't know. I'm going to see if I can't deal with the pears tonight because they're out in the porch and you have to let them sit for a couple of days to ripen up. And now they're just fruit flies everywhere on my porch. So, hi, let everybody come in, watch the ads, all that fun stuff. And then we will go ahead and say hi to everybody. In the meantime, so things are, yeah, my brother and my brother and sister-in-law came for a visit today for a couple hours, and it's lovely. We do this every year. You know, they bring me Andrea's famous crabapple jelly, and I give her a little jar of peach jam and a little jar of blueberry blackcurrant jam. So, hey, Julie. Hey, Yellowbird. Dana Barker, everybody's coming on in, coming up roses. And so I got a little bit of housework done today. I still haven't vacuumed. But like I said, tomorrow's video is uploaded. And I think I'll soak the pears in water. I'll put them in cold water just to stop them, cold water and lemon juice until I can get to them tomorrow. But I'm just going to slice them and dehydrate them. I only have about 10 of them. So what email do you want, sweetheart? There is. Then if it's for the greeting card seed exchange, it's and then there is because I have different channels, I have different email addresses. Oh my goodness. What a day. What a day. So I got a lot accomplished today. Had a lovely visit. Tomato soup cake is the bomb. Now it's just a plain cake, but it was like, woo, Briar smelling it. Like this when I first made it, Briar was like, tomato soup cake. I said, trust me, it's like spice cake. So I made it. He was like, and I just kind of threw it together to, without any recipe or anything. You know how sometimes I do that, but I didn't make a video. So then Briar was like, well, this is really good. Right. So there was another can of tomato soup and I said, I'll make a video and Uncle Bill and Aunt Andrea are coming for a visit. So I'll make another tomato soup spice cake. And so I made a video for y'all. But you know what? If you have nuts, walnuts, pecans, and raisins, and you make a cream cheese icing, it would take a snack cake that we just cut open and put a little bit of butter on to a whole other level of decadence. My brother Billy said it. I said, you know what kind of cake that is? And he said, it tastes kind of like carrot cake. I said, it's tomato soup cake. And he went, really? I said, yes. Did you post the recipe yet? What, for the tomato soup cake? No, it's coming out in video tomorrow. I'm probably going to sit down tomorrow and yeah, I think that's what I'll do is I'll put my pears in a bowl with some lemon water till I can get to them tomorrow. Peach jam with pecans. Oh, oh, oh. All right. We've been here 5 minutes. I don't see, well, there's still more people coming in and then people watch the ad. So I'm just gonna go behind the fan, fix my teeth. And I've come up with what I'm gonna do when it comes time for me to lose my teeth, which is coming up fast, December and January. I'm going to, like, you can see now how they're all crooked and worn down in one direction. See how that's worn down, like it's going, you can see it going up, kind of. What I'm going to do is all of my videos that for like tomato soup cake or crafts or anything are going to be no, you're not going to see my face. I will take a picture of myself or I will use an emoji. But because what happens is I got to get all the bottom tape. Like I only get we get $1,000 a year for dental coverage. We pay for that. And I have 17 teeth to remove. So I'll get these ones will be easy. So I'll get the lion's share of these removed. Like, look at it. I don't mean to upset. So if you don't want to see a wiggling tooth, because I know I've upset some people, look away right now. Look. Yeah, I guess you can't see it. But the thing is once all of my teeth are removed, I have to wait 3 months for my mouth to heal before I can get fitted for dentures. So the only time you will be seeing my face and talking will be when on my patrons live streams. Any other live streams, I'll probably, do this or I'll wear a mask. I have a whole box of masks, but I'll wear a mask from here because I don't want people seeing my gummy mouth, right? I know that, but I don't need to give any more ammunition to people who don't like me. Commercial. All right. Everybody, say hello. All right. Say hello now. I'm giving you 30 seconds to say hello so that I can shout you all out and say hello back. That's all I got left is 17 teeth. Everybody say hello. We're having chicken and rice for dinner tonight because we just love chicken and rice. Are we all done saying hello? All right. Give me a second. We had goulash last night. And the difference between, like I said, Howie, excuse me. Oh, right. Let's pop out the participants and say hello before I forget. Hello, Alice, Cindy, Dana, Denise, Esox, Edie, Jackie, Jane, Kathy Ponder. Hello, darling Linda Bob, Mamakins. Mamakins. That's not Mama Dukes. Mamakins, Solitary Fairy, Terry, Tina Elliott, and Yellowbird. So yeah, we had a lovely visit. And I'm kind of keeping Briar till Friday. Like he was going to go home like this afternoon or tomorrow. And I said, well, why don't you wait till Friday? Because I got to go and get a few groceries anyway. I'm telling you, I'm telling you, um, the use your fan like we see. Yeah, but then I'm constantly like this. I'm constantly like this. Yeah, right. So maybe. Um, I'll be so glad when September is finished because it's a financially draining time of year. I'm not complaining, not asking for money. I'm just saying, you know, our 3 paychecks, Howie's 2 and my 1, have to cover all our bills, like our regular bills. Then then I've got, $1,100 in firewood paying for. So I mean, I'm okay, but I might actually ask them if I can take, whatever, I'll figure it out. But it's, you don't realize the way the economy is going. All of my stuff comes from ad revenue. And who wants to watch ads if they can't afford to buy? So, right? But I'm finding that I think I'm going to hit my 50 jars of green beans. I'm going to dehydrate my pear slices. Hey, Corey! You could set up a postcard holder. Well, just a second here. Let me think about this. Oh, let's see if this would work. Because there's a little gap right there. I don't know. Whatever. We'll see. We'll figure something out. I just don't want. I don't need. I'm vain about my. I've always been vain about my smile, and it's bad enough I'm missing, like, tons of teeth that I can't chew anymore. Right. I did that yesterday, and I got 7 pints. I think that's. It's because my bigger ones, my older ones are starting to slow down, but my new ones are coming up. So I'm going to have to get Howie to actually whippersnip the garden because I think I'm going out for zucchini too tomorrow. Hi, Charlene. I like my fans. I have, this orange, green. I have them for all occasions. A deep pink, like a fuchsia pink. Dark purple. Dark blue. This one that actually goes with my ears is a kind of a turquoise. Another purple, a lighter purple. Gold. And red. I'm sure I have, and then there's my regular. Howie bought me a little rose bush in this pot one year for Valentine's. And the rose bush died, but I keep it like this. It's like a bouquet. It's a bouquet of fans. I have lots of fans, and this is my everyday one. I have a white one somewhere too. I have a white one somewhere as well. I got 14 quarts of garden medley done so far. Oh, you're doing garden medley. What's in your garden medley? I'd love to know. Nerve blocks. Been busy with Mom. She had a procedure done this morning. I've been asleep. Oh, nerve blocks. Oh, I hope that helps. I have a friend who is on disability now, and she's 2 years younger than me. And because she worked her body into the ground, my friend Gilly. She had 4 kids, and she started cleaning houses, right? And she graduated over the years up to cleaning the medical center, cleaning the municipal office, cleaning the emergency, the EMTs building, and all that stuff. So she actually got it so that she could stop cleaning houses and just do the businesses. And that she did that for a long time. And then her mom had a stroke. And so her dad couldn't handle her mom by himself. So they moved in with Geraldine, with Gilly. And so she looked after her mom. Her mom passed away. And she had to give up her jobs because she had a problem with her sciatica. Like she's got some, I don't know what the actual issue is, but she has to go like every 3 months for like a nerve block thing, like an epidural nerve block thing. And then after her mom passed away, it wasn't long after that her dad developed cancer. And so by the time she got her disability, it was like she's just, she worked herself into the ground. God love her. Hard working girl, hard working girl. But she gets the nerve block things every couple of months. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Right? Like when we're at my brother's celebration of life, Gilly came. So happy to see her. I'm still hoping we may be able to get to go up to Apsley for a weekend in October with the motorhome before we shut it down for the winter. But she doesn't let that, suspected spam. God, I hate that. So yeah, sometimes it works good and sometimes it doesn't. But when the day of my brother's celebration of life, she had gotten hers done the day before. So when I went to hug her, and she's just a wee little thing, I went to hug her and she said, "Careful." I said, "Oh, honey, between the two of us." Right? But she's always, she's never let it get her down. Like, yeah, we all let things get us down occasionally, but she's always, always look on the bright side of life. And God love her, I mean, she's got 2 grandchildren and 4 sons, 4 big strapping sons. God love her. In my garden medley, I put zucchini, half chunk, half grated, onions, garlic, carrots, leeks. Oh my goodness, it sounds delicious. Well, I've got a couple of bags of zucchini in the freezer from last year, so I'm going to be doing garden medley soon. I've got almost a bushel of tomatoes. And I'm going to do zucchini, celery, onions. That's probably going to be it. Zucchini, celery, onions, and tomatoes is going to be my garden medley. I know. Like, that's what when I say to Howie, I said, if I ask him, do you want spaghetti or goulash? And he goes, what's the difference? Goulash is I put in hamburger, onions, mushrooms, peppers, and a jar of spaghetti sauce. But then I add a jar of my garden medley vegetables so that it's really soupy. And 20 minutes before supper, I put in a cup of elbow macaroni. And then I stir it in and I shut it off and I let it swell. And that's goulash. So I still have garden medley from last year. So we're going to be eating it a lot this year. I actually am thinking of doing some tomatoes into tomato powder just because it helps to thicken things up so much easier, right? So tonight, yesterday we had goulash. We had garden medley goulash. And hang on a second, folks. I keep getting calls from suspected spam, potential fraud. These are different numbers too. So we go block that number. It is already blocked. Whoops. Potential fraud. It's already blocked. So it says the number is blocked, but it still rings through. I don't understand that. Well, I think instead of doing the whole 3 baskets plus whatever I get out of the rest of the garden in tomatoes into garden medley, I still have like 6 or 7 quarts of it. So what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to take half the tomatoes and do garden medley, and the other half I'm going to stew and dehydrate into powder. It has a tendency to turn hard if it's pre-powdered and not vacuum sealed after each use, unless you check the jar a lot. Shake it good. Oh, always, always. Um, what I do with the powdered tomatoes is when I dehydrate it, I powder it, and then I put it back on fruit leather trays and dry it again. I know. You know what? I don't even see the ads coming, Corey. I'm really sorry. Unless it comes up saying there's an ad coming, I don't. I have no control over the ads. All I can do is choose between conservative, balanced, and aggressive, and I always take balanced. So, what is your Rumble account name? I just saw that you're online. Sorry, I missed you. Okay, well, give me a second here. Linda Bop will give you my account. My I am working on moving a lot of stuff over to Rumble or creating new content for Rumble because I need, as my income gets, because I keep doing the same stuff over and over and people are like, why? So Quacker Farm, email me at and ask me for my mailing address. And that is Mrs. Wolfie Let's Talk. I also have a reading channel on there where I'm moving a lot of I'm redoing a lot of, not redoing them, but editing them a little bit better and putting them over on Rumble. But I'm going to start doing fresh books on Rumble, on my reading channel on Rumble. I know one verse of Amazing Grace a cappella. Do you know they still haven't gotten back to me on that? Let me look. They still have not gotten back to me. So instead of, like they said, oh, we're going to hold the monetization until they, because they were giving away half of my monetization on that video to a publishing company that has no right to it. So I did an appeal, but it says until the dispute is rectified, they're going to hold the monetization. So you know what it did? I said, well, then I'm going to make it a private video until you make up your mind, right? But they haven't done anything yet that I can see. My 15-year anniversary on YouTube is coming up next month. And 4 Jars has given me a prize package to give away. I'm waiting to hear back from London Sunshine. And from London Sunshine, and who else? Nesco. I sent a nice letter to Nesco saying, you know what? I've promoted you guys for years and never asked for a damn thing. I'm asking for you to give away an Nesco dehydrator. And maybe send me a fuse for the one that's not working. So I'm going to see. So far, we have one prize to give away for our 15-year anniversary draw. Okay. So wonder if you could do happy birthday, spoken, not sung. I've never had a problem with happy birthday, but it wouldn't surprise me if it started up that way. So I made that medicated ice cream you made years ago. Yeah, a cup is truly all you need. Do I have that on my Rumble page? Because it's not churned ice cream. It's No churn. It was no churn ice cream. Why? Do you need happy birthday? A black cherry ice cream. Ooh. Ooh. I have an ice cream churn, but it's just a very little one. It's a very little one. I bought it in the States when we were in, last time we were down visiting John, I think. But it's her favorite. Well, you just get some black cherries and pit them and make the ice cream and just lightly pulse your cherries in the blender and add them. Because hi, Susan Fain, because all ice cream, the very first ice cream I ever made was when we were in Arizona, and I bought a great big 2-gallon, I believe it was a 2-gallon ice cream maker, and it got broke. It got broke. I was so mad. I paid $5 for it at a thrift store, packed it really carefully. Anybody ever hear the story about the ice cream maker going through the X-ray machine at the airport? Your birthday is tomorrow. Well, I need a first name, Esax. I'm not going to sing happy birthday to Esax. Give me a name. Anyway, I not usually like this. Oh my goodness. The first ice cream I made was, I don't know if I blogged it even or not, because I had a blog. That blog is still there. You can see me cook squirrel and clean squirrel, but it's all in pictures and everything. Maybe I'll find it and do a slideshow. But anyway, I made a cooked custard. It was like custard, with real vanilla and bean in it and everything. And then put it in the ice cream maker. Oh my goodness. It was so delicious. So delicious. The ice cream recipe. Is it medicated ice cream? I'm gonna have to do some more recipes for cooking with cannabis on the Rumble channel. My name is E. Oh, you're from Denmark. Happy birthday to you tomorrow. Happy birthday to you tomorrow. Happy birthday, dearie. Happy birthday to you and many more tomorrow. Mwah. Oh, chocolate medicated. Oh, that was so good. YouTube is probably waiting for Bev to burst into a song and then take part of her ad revenue. Let's not be negative now, Linda. Let's not be negative. This is all about positive, loving vibrations. So is there anything that we want to talk about? Is there anybody that needs prayers? Okay, because I got a little pad here. I'll write this stuff down so that we can do a prayer at the end for everybody, right? I'm not getting notifications for your lives anymore. That's something this is another thing with YouTube, right? They can't keep up. They just can't keep up. It's a computer. It's basically a computer run by about 10 people. The entire YouTube thing. It's owned by Google now, right? So once a week, whether it says you're subscribed or not, if you want to get things, you got to unsubscribe, resubscribe, click the bell once a week, every week. It's the only way you're going to get notifications. Oh, yeah, that's okay, sweetheart. Ice cream maker through the airport. Okay. So it was a bucket a little bit narrower than this. It was about that big. It was about that tall, maybe a little bit taller. And it had in the lid, it had the beater, right? and it had a long metal cylinder. So what you would do is you would you would put the cylinder down in and pack ice and salt around it, and then very quickly pour your custard in. Actually, you would pour your custard in, put the paddle down in it, and then pack ice and salt around it, and then turn it on. And so it was this, the paddle was long, and it looked weird, and the lid was weird, and the long cylinder could have been a bomb, I guess. And then the bucket. So my neighbor gave me a bunch of tea towels that she works in a rail yard, sitting in her car all night. So she would buy tea towels, cut them in half, and then she would crochet things on them. And then, so she gave me all these hot chili pepper tea towels and tea towel things to hang on your stove and stuff. So I thought, well, we have like a great big duffel bag on wheels, right? And a suitcase, right, on wheels. So what I did is there was like 40 of those tea towels. So I packed the tea towels in it, around it, all through it. I made them like they were all, and it all went into the one suitcase, right? And then I put our clothes in around it. So before it went through the x-ray machine, Howie said, now, you're gonna want to talk to my wife before you put this through the x-ray machine. And they said, why? And he said, and they said, no, we don't need to talk to her, because they're looking really suspicious. So they put it through the x-ray machine and go, what have you got in there? They start laughing, right? Hi, Frida. Hey, Jane. Hang on a second. Where's my pen? Okay, what's his name, Jane? Because you can put what you want to pray, but I just but that will cover it. But I also need his name. I'm so sorry to hear that, sweetheart. Hi, Missy. Steve. Liver. Okay. So when they pulled it back out, they said, we got to open it. I said, you open it, you pack it back properly, because that thing has to make it through your luggage. And it was a soft-sided kind of duffel bag. So they said, what's in there? I said, it's an ice cream maker. I bought it at a thrift store. They didn't believe me. They unpacked the whole thing. And like they just opened it and went through it. But, I was so mad. They cracked the lid. They cracked the lid of the paddle. I was so pissed off. But I tell you, we've had some pretty interesting moments at x-ray machines in airports. When we first bought in 2009, we bought a mobile home in a park in Arizona. And it needed work. So the first time we went down there, right, it was empty. So the first time we went down there, we rented a cargo van in Arizona. And I had been on our area of Phoenix on Kijiji buying furniture. So as soon as we got there, we took a cab to the rental place to pick up the cargo van, went and picked up our bed and our couch and everything from these Kijiji ads so that we could have a place to sit and sleep, right? But with that first trip, I said to Howie, I said, we can't afford to buy you all these power tools for down there, right? We can't afford it. And this is, so in that big duffel bag, this was the first trip down. This was the first trip down with that mobile home being ours. And I packed the skill saw, the drill, extension cords, screwdrivers, hammers, anything I could think of that we didn't want to have, that we were going to need, that we couldn't, just go out and buy, right? So again, we get to the airport and we're flying out to Phoenix. And Howie said, again, I'm here listening. I'm getting some of those green beans washed up, hoping I get at least 10 pints. I got 7, and my bush beans are now starting to flower and fruit out as the pole beans are petering. Well, my first 5 beds of pole beans are petering out, and now my new ones 3 are just starting. So I'm still I'm actually getting more at the moment. So anyway, go to put that bag through the x-ray machine. Howie said, you're going to love this. So they put it through the machine, and they said, or before they put it through the machine, my husband said, now listen. And he told the story, right? He said, my wife packed this. It's mostly power tools. And they went, what? And I explained, we just bought a mobile home in Arizona. Where we have to pick up a cargo van. We're going from the airport to the U-Haul to pick up a cargo van. Then we're going around to pick up all our secondhand furniture. I said, we can't afford to go out and buy tools to do the necessary repairs on this mobile home. And he goes, okay. So he put it through the x-ray machine, and he was like this. And he went, okay, thanks for telling me ahead of time. Because I understand my sister is a hairstylist and ran into the same thing traveling to the States for a conference. I know. It's just nuts. Some of the things I've put, and I always tell them. Right? So it's quite the experience. Flying with me is quite the experience. I haven't flown in, I don't know how long. I don't know how long it's been since I've flown. Last trip to Phoenix, I guess, or Arizona. But it's and when we got there, we got a cab, went to the U-Haul, got our van, picked up a pull-out couch, a double bed, a queen size bed, a table, 4 chairs. Oh, and I also had not dishes, but mixing bowls and pots and pans. It's a big duffel bag. Mixing bowls and pots and pans and stuff. Our clothes were in another suitcase, right? That's why I was like, they were looking at it like, because they would have put that through and alarms would have gone off. They thought I'd had a bomb, putting a bomb on the plane, right? But coming across the border, driving home from Arizona, we went out for 2 weeks with Mom and Briar and Howie and I in our minivan. We had wasn't a Chevy Venture. Yeah, it was a Chevy Venture. I miss that van, man. I miss that van. And I came home with a cooler full of, I think it was 40 pounds of butter. And 40 or I can't remember now. There was like 40 pounds because it was like $1.50 on Boxing Day. Butter was $1.50. So I bought like 40 pounds of butter, blocks and blocks of cheese. And I had a huge cooler that I bought at a thrift store. And what I did was I just put I put the cheese, or I put all the butter in the freezer. And I stored the cheese in the fridge. And when we went to leave, I made a layer of butter, bricks of butter. And then I put all the cheese in, and then I put the frozen butter on top and ice packs on top. That made it all the way home. 3 days took us to get home. That butter and cheese was good. So, I mean, some of the stuff, and everybody knows the story of me bringing the butter and cheese across the border and Briar yelling out bomb, right? You've heard that story. I ever tell you the story the first time I took my cherry bomb over the border? Oh my goodness. the last time you could go across the border without a passport. You just needed your driver's license and ID. And we were going over to the Akwesasne Reserve for the day, just to go, or were we staying overnight? I think we were staying overnight. And we had a brand new, well, it wasn't brand new, it was new to us. The Chevy Venture was new to us. And it was this kind of dark black cherry kind of color. So I called, and I had a little air freshener cherries hanging in my window. I called it. Have I lost people? Because nobody's talking. So we, I nicknamed my van the Cherry Bomb, right? So we're going across the border into New York, going into like Hogansburg and then the Akwesasne. And we get pulled over. We were told to pull over for a random check. The van is completely empty. It's me and Howie and Mom, Nan, right? So we go in. We said, step inside here, come into the office. Can I have your keys, please? He said, it's just random, blah, 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 blah. And I said, oh, okay, no big deal. So I put my thing on the counter and I grabbed my keys and I handed them to him. And he got halfway across the office when I said, now be careful with my cherry bomb. And he heard the word bomb and froze. And Howie went, no. He had to explain to the guy that my van, we just bought the van and I nicknamed it Cherry Bomb. And that man turned around, he come right back and he looked at me and he said, madam, never, ever say the word bomb at a border crossing. Okay? So, right. So I get into all kinds of scrapes. When we sold the mobile home, oh my God. When we sold the mobile home in it was Peoria, Arizona. And what was the name of the park? Suncrest? I think it was Suncrest Mobile Homes. Or an airport or a bus station, yeah, right? Or a post office, right? So we sold the mobile home. We went out there to close the deal. Now, we actually held the mortgage for the young couple who bought it because they were from Mexico and she was a citizen and her husband was working on his citizenship. And he was a landscaper and she worked she was a hotel maid, cleaner. And they had 2 little kids. And I thought, they offered $1,000 down and to make payments. So I had it all drawn up with a notary saying, you miss one payment, I take my mobile home back. You understand that, right? I said, I'm not being mean or racist or anything else. I'm telling you that because I live in Canada and I don't want to have to come down here if for any reason you miss a payment. And she said, no problem. So the $1,000 down went to the real estate agent who brokered the deal for his fees. And she gave me, and the first 6 payments went to him. No, it was just the $1,000 fee and then, or the $1,000 down payment. And every year at Christmas time, I got a letter with 12 checks in it, and only once did one bounce. And she had phoned me and told me, I'm really, really sorry. It's going to bounce. I'm sending you another one right away. I used the wrong checkbook, blah, 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 blah. I said, it's okay. Got it. Right. But I mean, we held that mortgage for them for 5 years. And I'll never forget sending them a nice card saying congratulations on owning your home. Right. But when we left and we sold it furnished, we sold it furnished. So I went back from Idaho to Arkansas. What airport did not say anything about my big bag of pills or my dog tags around my neck? But the next airport made me take them all out and take off my dog tags. Wow. Wow. So we sold it furnished. Now, I had a 1955 Singer cabinet sewing machine that I got for $17.50. Y'all heard that story. If you haven't heard the sewing machine story, let me know. But I left that behind. I was really sad to leave it behind. But there was a wingback chair that I had bought that I really wanted to bring home. I wish I'd brought the sewing machine home, right? So we packed that van. The seats, thank God, folded down into the floor. We packed that van to the roof, to the backs of our seats, to the roof, with everything we could get in it. Cast iron frying pans, wingback chairs, dishes, cutlery. I gotta tell you, cutlery. Okay. When Briar was a preteen or an early teen, he would throw cutlery away without thinking about it when he was cleaning his room or whatever. And so we couldn't figure out where all our cutlery was going. Arthur spent $75 on stainless steel cutlery for us one year. It was gone in a year and a half. So when we were at the thrift store, there's this drawer. I still have it in my drawer. There was a wooden drawer liner, not the plastic ones that don't hold squat. And it was just big, nice, deep slots for cutlery. And it was full of cutlery. Full. And it weighed about 10 pounds. I tell you what, I paid $15 for that, and I made sure I brought that home. I made sure. And that is a piece of Arizona that's sitting in my drawer. I know, I'm really sorry about the ads. It's like having a friend to chit chat with me in the kitchen while I get stuff done. Well, there you go. So we packed that van so full, and we stopped at a couple, we stayed at Motel 6s and stuff on the way home. But when we got to the border, when we got to the border, the guy just looked at us. And he said, I said, "You're going to want us to pull over." And they said, "Just so you can explain what's going on." We pulled over, and he's looking at it. And I said, "I can open the back doors for you, but I'm not sure what's going to fall out." But I opened the back doors, and he looked, and he said, "How did you get that all in here?" And we explained that we had just sold our mobile home in Arizona. We were going back home to Canada. And this was the stuff that wasn't sold with the motor home that we wanted to bring home. I told him I left 3 beds, a sewing machine, a table and chairs, dishes, all kinds of stuff behind, pots and pans, all kinds of stuff behind. I said, this is the stuff we couldn't leave behind. Right. And he just looked. And we couldn't open the sliding door like you could. But you had to be really careful. So we opened the sliding door, opened the back doors, and opened the front doors. And he just looked like it was some kind of Lego miracle. He said, "Away you go." He said, "Please don't get in an accident." He said, "You'll never survive." So, yeah. And there's, and I remember the first time, not the first time, but the last time, not the last time, one time we were going, I think we were going to see John. And, it was for Howie's, we were going to Michigan. We did the Michigan meetup. And the lady that was sitting in the border thing as we were coming across, you know, I had to look forward so she could see me and look at my passport. And she started asking questions. And instead of asking Howie, she just went like this and she looked right in my eyes and she started asking me the questions. And I'm like, yeah, okay, no, yeah, right. And I'm smiling at her because she's looking at me like she knows she sees something, but she's not sure what it is. I'll never forget it. It was like she wanted to catch me in a lie. And I'm not that person. Right. But because I'm so talkative, like that's how I play poker. Right. To hear you in a wonderful mood and happy and chatting stories. Well, Momikins, I'm feeling good today. I'm feeling really good today. I cleaned my toilet, my bathroom sink, the rust on the bottom of my tub. Oh, here we go. I have a rubber mat with suction cups on the bottom so that I don't slip getting in and out of the tub when I go to have my shower. Well, it gets left in there and I will pull it up. And like I'll put the bath mat when I'm clean and dry, I'll put the bath mat over the side of the tub and I'll put the rubber mat over it. But sometimes it'll get forgotten. And I have to, when I clean the tub, I have to pull it up and I have to give it a clean and all that stuff, clean the mat, clean the tub. But there's rust, little speckles of rust all under the mat where the mat is always sitting in the tub. I said to Howie, we're going to have to buy a new tub. And he said, we're not buying a new tub, Bev. That's right. I said, I cannot get that off of there. So he bought Comet. Now, I don't never ever use, remember, Comet, the powder? Packing like I was playing Tetris, absolutely. And I said, that's not going to do any good. And by the way, never ever use Comet in your toilet, ever. Because it goes into the U-bends and it goes like cement. It hardens up and you'll end up replacing your plumbing for your toilet eventually. Never, ever, ever use powdered Comet or Old Dutch or anything like that in your toilet. Anyway, Howie brought home Comet. I haven't seen Comet in years because all I use is Dawn and vinegar, right? No, because Howie still needs to soak in the tub every once in a while if he gets an aching back or something, right? We replaced our tub with a shallower tub so that I could get my legs over it. And I'm determined to have new knees within the next few years. So, but anyway, last night, he comes out of the bathroom, he goes, told you it was from the water. Getting trapped under there because we have iron in our water, calcium in our water. And the Dawn and vinegar takes the calcium, but unless you scrub it, it's almost like it's little flecks of rust. He took Comet, he gave it a scrub, said, "Hey, you don't need to replace the tub." So, he cleaned the tub, so I got the toilet cleaned today. Of course, I got family coming. They only come in the house to use the toilet. They always come at this time of year or in the summer, and we sit outside and we have a cup of tea, right? They love my tomato soup cake. And, I'm going to have to get going soon. And, well, sometimes Father does know best. But, so I got that done. And then I have to sit down. The only thing I haven't done is vacuum my living room rug, but I've got it all picked up if Gracie hasn't messed it up again. So I swept the bathroom and I swept the kitchen and the dining room and I cleared my dining room table. Well, except for one end in case they wanted to come in and sit down and have a cup of tea. And I picked up my carpet in the living room and I canned my beans. And it's just been one of those days where I'm feeling really accomplished. Now, I'm going to have to soak my pears overnight in lemon juice and cold water because they're getting fruit fly crazy. But yeah. So yeah, house is things are starting to slow down a bit. Not slow down a bit. They're not slowing down a bit. But I was able to get stuff done. And Briar was going to go home today or tomorrow. And I said, no, you're staying till Friday. And he goes, why? I said, because I got to do some shopping anyway. So you're staying till Friday. And he goes, oh, okay. No problem. But then he's going back. He says, he's taken a leave of absence from his job. And, well, yeah, he kind of quit, right? He quit in the middle of a shift. We all know he had some issues going on. But after getting $2,000 worth of work done on his teeth, he said, I need my job back. So I guess he's going to talk to his boss, because his boss said, yeah, come on in and talk, because nobody wants to do Briar's shift, which is Thursday to Monday, 4 p.m. to midnight. So it's all weekend. So who wants to work Saturdays, Friday nights and Saturday nights doing dishes till midnight when they could be out clubbing, right? But Briar doesn't do that. Oh, I'm going to miss him very much. We've just been together. We haven't really, we hang a little bit watching TV. Oh, he bought me Zuma. He got me to download this thing called Steam. And he bought me a Balloon Monkey game and Zuma. And because I can't get Zuma, I used to play it all the time on Facebook. They don't do it anymore. I can't find it anywhere. So he bought me Zuma from Cat Games. So I've been playing Zuma. Oh, I've missed Zuma so much. So yeah, but I mean, it's not like we do anything. It's just we're here, right? We just hang out, right? I mean, if we after supper, we all sit down, and Howie watches the news. We have our supper. And if what we're going to watch on TV isn't up to Briar's thing, he goes and he does the supper dishes. And then, it's like, it's just been lovely. It's just been lovely having him home, and I am going to miss him. But it doesn't mean, and I told him, I said, anytime you need to take a break for 3 or 4 days, because like I said, he Tuesday, Wednesday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesdays, he didn't work, right? He worked Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday nights, right? So anytime you want to come home for a couple of days, just let me know. I'll come get you, right? Yes, the frog that shoots marbles. Zuma. He got me Zuma Deluxe. And there's one that I started playing because it's been years since I was able to play Zuma. And I got into the one where it was a gauntlet. It means you play until you lose. That's it. But then there's the other one where there's different games where you go through different levels and stuff. I love Zuma. Hey, Freaky Geek. I love Zuma. Zuma and Bejeweled Blitz. But all I play on Facebook is Yahtzee Fever. And it's the weirdest Yahtzee. I don't know if anybody doesn't know what Yahtzee is. It's just a dice game where you go 1 through 6, and then you do small straight, large straight, full house, chance, this and that, and this and that. So, but this one, because Yahtzee can get pretty boring. I used to play Yahtzee with my best friend's mom. I'd skip school for the day. I'd leave for school. I deliberately missed the bus because it was like almost a kilometer away. I deliberately missed the bus at least once a week. And then I'd go back to Gilly's house. She'd be gone to school. I'd go back. I'd stop in and say, hey, B was her mom. And we'd drink coffee and play Zuma. Or not Zuma, Yahtzee. We made our own sheets with just lined paper and rulers. We made our own sheets because we played that much. And then at 11 o'clock, she'd say, or I'd phone Dad and say, oh, I missed the bus. I'm over visiting with B. Okay. Right. This is like I'm in grade 11, grade 12. Right. Dad didn't, she's going to do what she's going to do kind of thing. And then 11 o'clock I'd roll around. She'd say, Jerry's going to be home in a minute. So she said, you run around with the vacuum and she'd have the breakfast dishes done. And then she'd say, you run around with the vacuum while I make his lunch. And I'd run around with the vacuum and duster and we'd be just sitting there. I'd be sitting there having a cup of tea. It What are you doing here? Oh, I missed the bus, so I thought I'd come over for a cup of tea. And then he'd have his lunch and he'd go to work and we'd whip up the dishes and then we would play. Yahtzee. And at 3:00, this is how regimented my father was. At 3:00, she'd get up from the table and she'd look out the window and there would go Dad's truck and she'd look at the clock and she said, you could set your clock by your father going to get his paper. So when my dad went to California after Arthur was born and I, I was living in Peterborough, Dad went to visit my brother in California, but he got a limousine service to take him to the airport and he left his truck in the driveway, right? And I get this frantic phone call from my best friend, Geraldine Gilly. My dad nicknamed her Mrs. McGillicuddy, and it got shortened over the years to Gilly, and she still goes by Gilly. But her name is Geraldine. Anyway, I get this phone call from her saying, what? She says, Bev, don't panic. She said, but, Dad's about to break into your dad's house. And I went, why? And she said, because he hasn't gone by to get his paper for 3 days. The truck's in the driveway and all the lights are off. See, my dad would stay up until 10:00. The lights upstairs would be on. He'd go down. That's another thing. He used to bitch about his knees. He'd go down he had a TV room a family room in the basement where he put his great big screen, one of those TVs that has the mirror in it before the flat screens came out. He'd go down there and watch the news every night. I said, you do them stairs every night. You tell me you got your knees are bad? Bullshit. But anyway, I said, oh, no. Because before Dad left, I said to him, phone B and Jerry. Because my father was very private and he didn't want to bother anybody. He lived alone, right? This great big 4-bedroom viceroy, right? That we built. And well, they put up the shell. We did everything else, including the foundation, the insulation, and everything. Anyway, I said, before you go, phone B and Jerry and let them know you're going to be away. And he goes, I'm not, they won't even notice. I said, Dad, they're your neighbors. They will notice. He didn't. So when Geraldine phoned me, I said, no, Gilly, he's in California visiting Mike. I said, did he not phone your parents and tell them? Did he not phone your parents and tell them he was going away for a couple of weeks? And she said, no. So I phoned my dad in California and said, Dad, Jerry was over at your house, knocking on the doors, about to call the EMTs because you hadn't been seen or heard from in 3 days. No lights were on and your truck was in the driveway. And he went, oh. And I said, they're your neighbors, Dad. Right? Because we were from Toronto, right? So anyway, hey, Frida. I don't know, but thank you. This Yahtzee, I'm going to see if I can, let me see if I can get it for you. It's on Facebook, and I'll show you the Yahtzee I play. It's called Yahtzee Fever. Okay. I don't know if this is going to show or not, but what this does is there's the regular Yahtzee, but some of them, right? And you get different. It's not the regular Yahtzee. There's one where it's 2 pair and all that stuff, but some of them, they'll be times 2, right? So you have to actually, and then on the other side, it'll be, your chance, your small straight, your large straight, and that. But then there's strategy games. So when you complete this, you go along a little map. And when you go to the next one, it might be 3s and 6s instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 3 3s and 3 6s. And you have to get. And then on the other side, it's all chances from 10 to 25 and 1 extra chance. So you have, it's strategy. So I find when I have 5 minutes, I play that one. But I'm going to be playing. I'm going to be getting supper in the oven shortly. I got to go out and pull some carrots for supper. Hey, Kathy, how are you, darling? Yahtzee is a poker dice game. Basically, yeah. It's basically a poker dice game. But the Yahtzee fever is it has different layers, right? And I'm sure I'm playing robots. I'm sure nobody else plays this game because they give me these cartoon character faces and people's names. And I kick the crap out of these people. But they're not people, they're bots, I guess. Hey, Angie! Billy and Andrea came today for a visit. We exchanged jellies. How are you doing, darling? What's for dinner? Hi, Sandra. I'm getting ready to leave shortly, and we're going to say our prayer. If you have a name or someone you want to pray for, or just put it in there, and we'll any prayer, anything you want to pray for, put it in the chat, and it gets absorbed in the general prayer at the end, which we're going to be doing right soon. Hi, Jennifer. How are you, darling? We're having chicken and rice. So I'm going to go out shortly. Did you check the dehumidifier? Is it empty? Well, then just leave it alone. Daddy will do that when he gets home. It didn't flood, did it? Briar? It didn't flood, did it? Okay, good. They had dehumidifiers on. Ours, the float gets stuck and it will overflow onto the floor. We have to replace flooring downstairs too. And they had them on sale a couple of months ago at Giant Tiger for $250, and I had the money in the bank, but I'm like, and I didn't get it. Guess what Howie's getting for Christmas? A dehumidifier. Don't use it in the wintertime though, because we have the heat on down there. Can't complain, hating the cold weather. You're going to miss your boy. Buddy, right? I'm going to miss my boy. But he always knows he can come back for a couple of days. If he just wants to come out and hang out, come and get him. So, I'm gonna bugger off now. And thank you. Just the fact that we call this loving vibrations. Did you like my little thing? I have that so that I can put it out a couple of hours ahead of time with the date and time on it. It's a little wee 15-second video so that everybody gets notification. If I'll put it out on Facebook, I'll put it out on X, right? But it's been wonderful. Hi, Practically Creative. We're leaving. I'm so sorry. But we're going to try and do this for now once or twice a week until the winter hits. And then we're going to try and do it at least 3 times a week. Okay? So for all those who care, just the fact that we called it Loving Vibrations Discussion Group made me have an immediate positive attitude coming in. Right? So let us pray. For all those who care to, please help me close with a non-denominational plea to the higher power of your understanding. Okay? Whether it's God or Jesus or Buddha, it doesn't matter as long as you have a faith. And if you don't, or you don't want to share it, or you don't want to be a part of it, that's okay too. We're not going to judge. This is only for the people who want it. Okay? So let's do a couple of deep breaths. Deep breath and hold it and then release it in a slow control breath. Hey, God, source of everything, light of my life, in my heart and in my path. God, we thank you for bringing us all together today, for us sharing stories and just being upbeat and sharing, you know, positive vibrations, right? And God, I wanted to sing so bad right there. Good, 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 good vibrations. Let them take it. Um, for bringing us together in positive energy, light, and love, so that we can ask you, God, fill us with the light of your love, so that we can link hearts and link hands and go on into the day until we meet again, spreading the light of your love before us and around us. And if there's anybody out there that's, struggling, they can come forward and be sheltered in the light of your love until they can charge up for themselves. God, we ask you to look after Steve. He's been diagnosed with stage 4 cirrhosis of the liver. We ask that you um, uplift him and his family as they face this together, as they deal with this horrendous illness. Let them know, God, let them feel that, they're always loved. And no matter how bad things can look, if we have your love in our hearts, we can face anything. Thank you, God. Thank you for bringing us together. Please fill us with the light of your love so we can share it. Amen. Namaste. Peace be with you. Merry meet, merry part, miigwech. Blessed be whatever salutation you use to connect with your faith. Know that we are all one under God. Take care. God bless. And we'll see you next time. Watch for that notification in Facebook and on X. Love you. Never forget that.